I like the way you are
2026
being specific.
or after October 2008.
Okay.
Yes. So you should have also completed undergraduate degree. I mean, you're going to do masters. You can't do masters with undergraduate without undergraduate. You should also have a first class honors or a GPA of 3.7 or higher. Um, there are also stronger candidates. They are encouraging you to have like honors or masters from outside your country. It'll
Okay.
make you a stronger candidate.
Okay.
This is a full coverage
Scholarship.
scholarship opportunity, and they are going to be giving you £20,400 per year.
Okay.
Just cover living expenses alone. Yeah. Um, they also give you additional support. I mean, like I said, it's a full scholarship. So they'll give you students visa, the IHS health surcharge fees, the two economy flights to and from UK, settling in allowance and all that. So look sharp. Its deadline is 27th August.
Okay,
So you still have
27th of August. So there's
exactly
some weeks to go.
to
So
go.
if you're interested in studying your masters in Oxford University,
Yes.
there's an opportunity for you young people to take. So take note and apply before the 27th of
Of
August.
August.
The last
Yes.
opportunity, and
The
then we move.
last opportunity is the 2026 Indie Games Fund Africa, and they are giving the 1 million Indie Games Fund supports small game studios based in Africa. It will award cash with no equity taken and hands-on support to help selected studios build and grow their business on Google Play. The focus is on high quality indie games with high growth potential. You must be located in or and registered in one of these African countries: Benin, Botswana, Burundi, Central African Republic, Congo, Cote d'Ivoire, Equatorial Guinea, Eswatini, Gambia, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Kenya, Lesotho, Liberia, Malawi, Mali, Mauritius, Mozambique, Togo, Uganda, Mozambique, Nigeria, Zimbabwe. Your studio size should be a small indie developer with no more than 50 employees. The game must also be a high quality indie game with a high growth potential. And yeah, I mean, the opportunities available. You have no cash reward, but you get hands-on experience, and you grow your business on Google Play. You get the opportunity to launch and expand on Google Play Pass, and then you're back into scale on Africa Indie Studio internationally. And the deadline is actually tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're a developer and you are listening to us, 31st
Yes.
of July is the deadline. You get opportunity to get your game. You get mentorship. You get support to build your game. So
Yes.
please look at the website. Where can they find this opportunity so that they can apply?
Yes, so the indie games is available on the rsvp.withgoogle.com
Yes.
/events/Africa/indie games fan 2026.
Okay, so search indie games and definitely you can apply to this today. Thank you, Abigail, for
Thank
giving
you.
us the opportunities. And we always bring you these opportunities and we advise and then we admonish that share with us your success stories when you apply to them and then you get them. We've had so many success stories from young people who have gotten great opportunities through the opportunities that we share here. The next segment of the show is one for the books. Last week, the finance minister read the budget for Ghana, and it has so many implications for the country. As young people, we also have certain financial burdens and we have to make financial decisions. And today we have a special guest that we are going to discuss how young people should approach financial literacy. And that is up next, right after this commercial and music break. And then we are back.
Are you spiritual?
conversation. I mean, as young people, we always need, and in today's economy, we always need some advice on how to structure our finances, how to set our budget straight, how to make sure our finances are in order. And today we have a lovely and amazing friend of mine, and we are going to discuss this. Most of the times I allow my guests to introduce themselves because I think you do it better. So over to you, Debbie. Please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Hi, everybody. My name is Deborah Afuano. You can always call me Debbie. I'm a chartered accountant by profession, and I'm very enthusiastic about personal finance, financial literacy. So, I mean, that's why I'm here today. So let's just delve into it.
Yes, you're the right person to do this, and I've known you for God knows how long, since we were national service people in back in the
University
day.
of
And
Ghana.
yes. And I mean, I think we'll dive right straight into it. What is financial literacy? And today, why should young people be interested in financial literacy?
Okay, so financial literacy is just understanding how money works. Yes, so when it comes to how money works, we are talking about earning money, we are talking about saving money, we are talking about investing money, we are talking about growing money and protecting money. So you want to understand how money works, so you make it work for you instead of working against you. Yeah, so that's just basically, if you want a very basic definition of financial literacy.
Wow,
That's it.
I like the phrase you use, for money to work for you,
Yes.
either than money working against
Exactly.
you. How does money work against you? Can money work against
Oh yeah,
you?
money can actually work against you. I mean, if you don't know how money works, you may mishandle money, you may mismanage money, and whatever you do not manage well, at the end of the day, I mean, it's going to work against you in the long run.
Wow,
So
that's really eye-opening. And as young people, I think most of the time we allow money to work against us because of our desires and our needs. So this conversation is very important. To your best of knowledge, why should young people take financial literacy seriously?
I mean, it's just like asking, why should young people take money serious? Money matters serious. I mean, would say we have a saying in our local parlance that sikaye moja. I mean, sikaye moja. So, I mean, if money is blood, and blood is essential for you to live, then money is essential for everybody, whether young or old. So the earlier you learn to make it work for you, the better for everyone. So that's why it's very essential that young people must not, we don't just wait till when we are older, but when we are young, we understand how it works, so it works for us in the long run as well.
Amazing. So I always like to put this in perspective that we are young people, we've started earning. For instance, I finished national service, I start making some income. What should I do? Where should I start from? I want to invest, or I want to save. I want to do something with my money, but I'm not quite sure how to go about it. I'm young. I don't have a 10,000 CD account. I just started earning something small. Where should I start from? What should I do?
Well, so when it comes to starting as a young person, the first thing is to understand how money works and how you can grow money, how you can spend money, how you can save money, how you can invest money. So conversations like this are like very, very important, because if you don't know how money works and then you just say, oh, okay, you have the wish of, I want to make money one day, I want to be a rich person. Everybody has that wish, but then you want to ask yourself, is it everybody that actually realizes that wish in their life? So you need to be able to plan for it, and planning for it takes the financial literacy, knowing about how the money is going to work. So as a young person, the first thing you need to do is to invest more in learning about how money works. So you need to, I mean, there are YouTube videos, you can read about it, you can do, ask the experts about it. Then after you don't want to just learn about it. I mean, if you learn about it, you have the knowledge, but then you don't take the initiative, then I mean, you shot yourself in the foot. So
There's a very controversial question that I'm going to ask
Okay.
about betting.
Okay.
The young people think, Charlie, if I do this calculation, I put in money, it is going to multiply. Do you think that is the best way to invest your capital today? Because a lot of young people are looking for the safest, fastest way they can make money without doing things that are illegal. Because nowadays a lot of young people have been carried away by FBI, and people are very cautious about what to do, and they think the easiest alternative is to either bet or put their monies into things that can multiply their monies faster. What is your opinion on this, and how would you advise young people in this day and age concerning betting and then make money fast schemes?
First, okay. So the first thing I want to say is, when it comes to building wealth, I mean, it takes a long time. It takes patience. It takes consistent habits to build wealth. When you look at all our millionaires or our billionaires, they didn't just wake up one day and then they won a bet or had some money somewhere, windfall, and then they became millionaires. So when it comes to betting, for instance, I don't really advise people to bet, because I would, for my best ability, I would rather discourage people from betting, because one, when you bet, the strategy for bet is hope. You are looking at the probability. There's a 50 chance that you get the money, or there's a 50 chance that you would have lost everything in it. But when it comes to building wealth, we are looking at very consistent way of growing wealth. So if all at the back of your mind, you want to make money sharp, you want to make money quick, you can try the betting, but then you get the money, and then most times people can't even use the money for anything substantial in their life. So once they bet, they get the money, a huge sum of money, the money just flashes away. Then they need to look for money again to bet, and then the cycle becomes a cycle. I don't think we've ever had a billionaire say, look, I was betting and then that was it. So I mean, I advise young people, let's not concentrate on that. Let's concentrate on patiently building wealth.
I agree with you, Debbie, 100%. And then you mentioned something about habits. So I want us to dwell a little bit on that.
Okay, sure.
As young people that are coming up, what do you think are some habits that we can try and develop so that we can be sound financially? We can build those habits of gradually building our wealth.
Okay, so the habits would be, one, we sometimes we are tempted to keep up with the Joneses as young people. We go out on social media. We see, oh, this person has bought the latest iPhone. This person has the Chanel bag. This person, and then we are tempted to also look for money to buy the same thing when really we cannot even afford it. So the first thing is to live not just within our means, but also below our means as young people. So you're not just living within, but also below. That whatever money you are, as young as you are, you earn money in one way or the other. Yes. I mean, people, maybe your parents will give you money. Maybe you are in the university, they give you some upkeep money. You can always keep something, as little as it is. It doesn't have to be, we are not asking to save all your upkeep money. You can always keep something. 20 cedis saved every month. At the end of the year, you would have probably had about how much, say?
So double of that. Let's say close to 1,000 cedis.
Yeah. So I mean, so once you keep 50 cedis saved every month, I mean, you are making progress. So you always want to put at the back of your mind that once you get money, some part of the money is for you to spend all right, and some part of the money is for you to save. We always need to start this saving habit as young as we can, like as early as we can start. So saving is the number one priority. And then from saving, you want to go to investment. I mean, bit by bit, you're able to gather some 20 cedis here and there. You have some, say, 100 cedis or 200 cedis. You want to try and then look out for investment platforms or investment instruments that you can put your money into, so your money grows for you. So these are some of the habits. And then, I mean, lifestyle creeping too. I mean, probably you're done with school. Now, daddy gives you money still. Maybe you started a national service, so you have some more money, and then now you just double up your lifestyle. Now, instead of eating from the house, you start,
No,
I want to buy, just like Oliver used to do. Oliver would buy Mr. Woo's way back.
Don't take me back to those days. Lunchtime, instead of saving my money.
Yeah, so we keep it's like once money hits our pockets, the first thing we are thinking about is how do I spend it? But then I want us to change our mindset that once money hits our pocket, you want to ask yourself, what's the best use you can put this money to? So that is, we want to change from how do I spend this money to how can I put this money into use that will help me become better, will secure my future, will help me grow wealth. So these are some of the mindset shifts and habits.
You say something that is very, very, very striking to me. Not just live within your means, but as a young person, try and live below your means.
Yeah.
Not like a pauper, but so that you have enough to save and enough to build your business. Amazing, amazing. Thank you, Debbie. And you mentioned savings. And I want to understand the importance of savings. You said it broadly as one of the habits that you want to build. In the next few segments, we'll compare savings and investments as young people. But let's dwell on savings for now. How do I save? I mean, I know it's putting money aside, but how do I practically build the habit of saving? Should I save all of my money? Should I save 20% of it? Should I save? How should I approach saving as a young person?
So that's a very good question. So, you know, sometimes when it comes to questions like this, people are have the tendency to give a very generic answer. Oh, as a young person, you need to save this amount of money or this percentage. But the first thing I need you as a young person to do is know yourself. You know your circumstance. You know what your dreams are. You know your goals, especially your goals, where you are going. I mean, you can have, let's say, young person A. This person probably lives with a mom and dad. They are well-to-do. At the end of the day, they support this person with some money. And this young person B, you are probably by yourself. At the end of the month, you even have to try and then give back home something, send back home something. So at the end of the day, if I said, okay, as a young person, just save 50%, I wouldn't be fair to you because this other person who lives with their parents, they have their food catered for. They would be able to save enough, probably higher percentages. So the first thing is you need to know yourself. You need to know your circumstances, your situation, and where you are going, your goals as well, before you even sit there and say, okay, this is how much I would want to save or I can. And like I said, you want money to work for you, not against you. If you save all your money and then you're not able to eat and you're just hanging around and you're catching all sorts of disease, stomach ulcers, and then what's the use of the money? You want money to work for you in the best way. So the first thing is to know yourself, know your circumstances, know your goals, know how, but you want to also save as much as you can. The goal is to save as much as you can. Yes, the goal is to save as much. And you want to make it a habit. You need to also decide upfront, am I going to be saving monthly or am I going to be saving weekly? You have to decide. And I would advise it goes hand in hand with how frequently you also get money. So if you are probably getting money every week, then you want to decide that then if I'm getting money every week, I need to be saving every day. If you are getting money every day, then you need to decide I'm be saving every day. If it's every week, I'll save every week. If it's every month, you are probably paid national service allowance. You want to decide, okay, once the money comes in, I'm paying this. So you need to decide upfront the frequency of you saving too, and then it has to match with what is coming in as well. And then once you decide on it, when it comes sharp, it needs to go. You probably have to open a different savings account. So let's say you're a national service personnel, you've started your national service, you have an account with this bank where the government pays money or the institution pays money into it. Now you need to open a separate savings account, whether with a separate bank or even with the same bank, some banks allow you to open some sort of investment or savings account where they put your money in. So when the money comes in, you can even ask the bank you can pass a standing order that, okay, once my money hits my account at the end first of every month, take this amount and move to this savings account. So that way you don't even see the money, you're not even tempted to spend the money, and it's automatic. You're not even thinking about it too. So that's one of the few ways.
Amazing. I think you're spot on, and I like the way you went into details and explained it so that young people can really understand it. I have another controversial question. This one is quick loan.
Okay.
So I understand that everybody needs some debt financing at some point. Sometimes you don't have a lot of money. I read a sad story yesterday about a young person somewhere, not in Accra, and an older man gave him his phone to buy credit and went to check the old man's account and saw that there was money in and transferred 3,000
Are you kidding
to
me?
yes 3,000 to his account.
Wow.
And his justification was that he was using that money to pay off a quick loan so
Okay.
that he will borrow another
More.
3,000 and then send back to the man. And the youth and young people today are falling into this trap where they are always in debt. What do you think about this? How should young people position themselves so that they are not falling into this debt traps
consistently?
Yes.
Okay, so before I continue, I think you had made mention that sometimes we need money in everybody at some point. I want us to shift our mind from that. You really don't need debt unless you really need it. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Please explain to us so that we understand.
When it comes to debt, you as much as possible you want to avoid it within your means, within your power, as much as you can. You want to avoid it in any way. And even if you should take debt, it will probably money. You need money probably to do something. You want to probably rather borrow from your family, where you are taking a 0 interest rated debt, because the goal is one, you want to avoid it as much as possible. So even if you need to, then you want to also make sure that it's 0 rated as much as possible. Yes, so that's the first thing you want to put in your mindset. Sometimes if you don't take care, we get carried away with this whole debt, especially the quick loan. It's not, it's there to help us, but then if we don't use it properly, it would come against us in the long run, because you feel, okay, my money, I'm done with my money for the month. I need some extra money to survive. But with the absence of that quick loan, you would have probably asked a family to help you with food for the month, or help a friend to help you out. But because the loan is there, you just quickly take your phone, then you subscribe to the loan, the money comes in, you spend. That is what we call in financial literacy consumer debt, or debt consumption debt, debt for consumption. So when you are taking debt, it has to be something that you know is bringing money to you in the future, where we say an income generating debt. Well, when you take the debt, you are using it, probably you are in school, you are learning, you need to pay your fees. You've gone helter-skelter, you've spoken to your family, you've spoken to a number of people, you've been trying your best to get a scholarship, you are not getting, and you need to take a debt. That instance is a bit allowed, because in the long run, you are investing in yourself. Yeah. But then if you need to take debt just to be buying takeaway food every day, take just to pack movement, then it's a bad thing. As much as possible, we want to stay away from debt.
Okay, so I really understand what you're saying, and I get the point of not getting consumer debts that you're using to spend on yourself, but debt that is going to transition into something that is going to regenerate money for you. So now let's come to investing. We've talked about saving and how important it is for young people to save. If you're getting money weekly, then you need to try and save weekly. If you're getting money daily, then you need to try and save daily.
Exactly.
Now, what about investing? Multiplying the money for ourselves. How should young people position ourselves so that we are able to invest
Okay.
and then have meaningful returns? Okay.
Okay.
I sometimes sympathize with young people because most of the times we don't have long-term mindset when we are investing. We have short-term needs, so we think investment should also bring very short-term returns. And short-term returns means that you are putting in a lot of money so that you get a lot of returns. But if you have the kinds of monies that we have, then you should practically be looking at long-term investing. What is your position on this, and what kind of advice can you give to young people about this topic?
Okay, so I think for this, I think like 2 weeks ago, I was actually like a facilitator in a business academy where I was speaking on personal finance and financial literacy. And someone asked, okay, I've talked about savings. Now I'm talking about investments. Is it not the same thing? I want to start from there. So savings is entirely different from investment.
Okay.
So I gave an analogy of maybe you're block factory.
Yes.
Savings is more like, okay, you're starting, you don't have anything at all, but you need some sand for the block. So savings is, okay, this day someone gives you probably 1 bucket of sand. What you do is you take 1 pail from it. You know, a bucket is bigger, a pail is smaller. So you take 1 pail of sand, you put it aside. Another time, someone gives you 2 buckets of sand. Okay, so you take 1 pail each from the 2 buckets. So you are gathering the sand. Now we want to move, so that is savings. Now we want to move to investment. Investment is, okay, so now the sand that you've gathered, you take it, you put in some cement and add some water, you mix it, and you create a block out of it. So it is in that block that you, in multiples of those blocks, you are able to build a house. So the savings is the sand where you are trying to gather the sand and everything you need. And the investment is now you have something concrete that as you keep building it, as you keep replicating the whole process, now bit by bit you are laying the blocks, then now you have a whole house, and that house is the wealth that we want to create. So that's the basic definition. I mean, this analogy helps a lot. So now we want to talk about why investment is important. Yes, why investment is, I mean,
and how young people should invest.
And the reason why investment is important is, look, we have something we call inflation, time value of money. Money that you would have saved last year, 50 cedis that you have saved last year, that whatever you could have bought last year, July, you cannot use that same money to buy whatever you want to buy now. You will probably go to the market and they say, hey, look, it's now 80 cedis now. So that is what we call inflation. And I mean, time value of money as well. So investment is what actually compensates for that. That now when you put your money to work, then now your money begins to generate income on whatever principal or whatever money that you've put in there. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you want your money to work for you as much as possible. So if you gather money, put under your bed, and the next 2 years you go and bring that money out, I mean, you would have lost some value. It would still be the same amount of money, but you would have lost the real value on the money, in the sense that whatever you could have bought many years ago, if you had spent the money, you can't use it now. But when you take that same money, you put in an investment instrument, whether it's a treasury bill, is a mutual fund, however, whatever is stocks you want to buy or shares you want to buy and all that, it protects your money and also makes a return on the money for you. So an investment is making your money work for you, essentially. Yes, making it. So I don't know if the types of investment we can go in is part of it. So I can continue.
You can continue.
Okay,
and tell us what they are.
So I mean, when I speak to young people, we need to go as basic as possible. You know, sometimes we hear investment, we are all thinking, hey, this rich person, and we don't really know where to start it. But investment is very simple. I mean, if you take right now as we speak, we have something we call T-bills, which is treasury bills. I'm hoping that we've all heard about it. So treasury bill is very simple. As low as 100 cedis, you can actually invest in a treasury bill. And treasury bill, let me tell you how it works. It's just like Treasury bill is you basically lending money to the government. Yeah, so it's you saying, the government of Ghana says, look, we have a lot of expenses. We need money. We need someone to lend us money. Then you're like, oh, okay, then I'll give you 100 cedis or I'll give you 200 cedis. At the end of the day, let's agree on an interest rate. You give me this percentage of interest rate on my treasury bill. So at the end of the period, government of Ghana comes back, okay, this is what you gave us. Now we are giving you back the 100 cedis plus the interest we agreed on.
Yes.
So I mean, we are here, and who wouldn't say, oh, I want government of Ghana to owe me?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So that's basic. That's a treasury bill. For a treasury bill, we have the 91 days, which is like 3 months treasury bill. We have the 182 days treasury bill, and then we have the 365 days treasury bill, which can also be termed as a treasury note. Yes, so a treasury note. So how it works is now, whenever you go to the bank, you say, look, I want to invest in a treasury bill, whether it's a 91 day, which is 3 months, 182 days, which is 6 months or half a year. Whatever interest rate you have on it is calculated on an annual basis. So if we are saying, the government of Ghana is saying, okay, 91 days treasury bill attracts an interest of, so I think, I'm not so clear, but it's around, say, 5% thereabout. That 5% is an annual rate. It's not just for the 3 months we are talking about.
Okay.
So it's the whole annual rate. So you want to calculate. Now, if you want for the 3 months, you will have to divide the 5% or the 6% by 12. And whatever percentage you multiply by the 3 or by the 6 or by the whole 12 years that you have.
Okay.
So that's how a T-bill works.
Wow.
Now, we have something we also called a mutual fund.
Okay.
So let me explain. A mutual fund is just like, okay, I have some money there. Oliver has some money there.
Yes.
Abner also has some money there. Then now we bring all these monies that we give to maybe Kwabna. Kwabna is more of an investment person. He knows all the investment tricks, and he went to school to study actually investment analysis and all that. So Kwabna takes all these money and Kwabna says, okay, look, Amma has bought 100 cedis. Oliver has bought 200 cedis. Kweku has bought this amount. I'm putting it together. Part of this money, I would invest in shares or stocks. I would invest in ETFs. I would also probably invest in new businesses. Then at the end of the day, when I get a return, I return the return to Oliver, myself, and Abna, and every other person that has. So a mutual fund is more like a collective investment where we are pulling monies together, but you don't even know the people you are pulling the money with. Yes. So you need to trust whatever investment platform you are working with. And we have example, we have like the SIMS, which is the Stanbic Investment Management. I don't know what the other S stands for. So we have a number of mutual funds. Probably after the show, you can always reach out to me, and then I'll take you through that.
No, Debbie, I think that is very, very important. But before we move on, I know you also do this advocacy for young people, and you train. Maybe tell us a little bit about that, so that we also know your portfolio. We did a short introduction, so what kind of work you do, what sector you work in, a little bit before we can move on.
Okay. So like I said, I'm a chartered accountant by profession. I actually work in the oil and gas industry here in Ghana.
Money. You have plenty money.
Please don't let my boss see this. So I work in the oil and gas industry, and apart from my work, my career, faith is actually a big area in my life. So I'm also a youth ministry leader, where we are not just looking at, okay, you know, when it comes to the church, sometimes we separate the church from like life itself. So, but then I feel like when you need to develop people, development takes a holistic approach.
I agree.
So we are developing people, not just, okay, the spiritual development, but we look at the spiritual development, we are looking at intellectual development, we are looking at various aspects. So that's where I'm also passionate about that. Young people are not just probably, okay, it's my career, or it's just this church person, and then I'm not going out there to develop. Yeah, I want to make sure that as much as possible, I'm able to help people also have a holistic development where you're able to also harness your potentials, and the goal is to become the best of yourself.
Yes.
And to achieve all that you can achieve here on earth.
Wow.
So my personal goal is to become the best of myself.
Wow.
So whatever will make me the best of me, whether spiritual, intellectual, learning how to communicate, learn emotional intelligence, whatever it is, look, you see me there. So that's what also transcends to the work that I do. Yeah. So I'm very passionate.
You're doing amazing. You're doing
thank
amazing
you.
with that. So young people out there, if you need someone to coach you, you can find Debbie on LinkedIn. I mean, she's very active there. You can find her, and then you can find the programs that she does, and then you can enroll on them. I have 2 questions, and then we end the conversation. The first one is on online scams. Okay. I've seen a lot of, even I have fallen victim to one of them.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I'm telling you. So how should young people position themselves so that they don't fall victim to financial scams that are online nowadays, because people fall into that a lot? And then we'll come and give your last message to young people, and then we can end the show.
I'm sorry about that.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I mean, so as a young person, the base rule I'll give is whatever you don't really understand, don't put your money in there.
Okay.
So whatever, if someone is asking you, look, bring money, you need to understand, okay, if I'm bringing money into this thing, what are they selling? Because for you to create money, you need to be producing something. So we don't just create money in an open space, or we create money by producing, whether it's service you are rendering, it's a product you have, or you are helping somebody, however it is, you need to understand what are these people producing. Other than that, you fall victim to Ponzi schemes. They are not selling anything. It's just the more people you are bringing, the more money comes. They are multiplying. So at the end of the day, when it collapses, those at the top would have gained a whole lot of money, and those who just entered would have lost their money. So you want to understand, what are these people? What is their business? What are they producing? What kind of service are they into? And then you also want to understand the return. If somebody comes and promises you 200% return in a month, I mean, it sounds too good to be true. So every time something sounds too good to be true, please believe me, it is actually too good to be true. So you want to look at that as well. And then you want to look at pressure. When you are being asked to invest into something and it's like pressure, you have to do it now or you lose it. I mean, the world is not coming to an end. You want to take your time to do your due diligence to understand wherever your money is going. Make sure you understand where it is going to and how they are going to work with your money. So once there's pressure that you need to invest, you need to bring the money, you want to look at it again and say, look, please just give me some time to so that's it.
Okay, thank you so much.
And also,
Debbie,
don't be too greedy, because sometimes we are too greedy as young people. You want to take small money and then get so much money. You build, like I said in my earlier submission, if you want to build wealth, it takes patience. Yes.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you so much for coming on the show. As young people, we really appreciate when we get these nuggets to improve our lives. So on your last words, I want you to give us 3 habits that you think young people cannot do without in building their financial capacity in this day and age. And then just give us your final words, and then we end the show.
So the 3 habits, like I said, you want to, as much as possible, live below your means, not just within, but also below your means. The second one is you want to avoid debt as much as possible. If you really are in dire need of money, you can probably ask your family, or you want to, probably someone should dash you the money or something, but even as much as possible, you want to just avoid debts as much as possible. And the third thing is discipline. When it comes to saving, nobody, if I have 100 cedis, I want to spend all the 100 cedis. Why should I put part aside. So you want to have the discipline, cultivate the discipline of saving money. And saving money, look, it's not even about how much you are saving. It's about the consistency and the discipline in making sure that you are always putting money aside. So that I just want to reiterate that you want to live below your means. You want to avoid debt as much as possible. And you want to cultivate the habit and the discipline of saving money, no matter how little it is. So those will be my 3 major. And for my last point,
I like that last point.
for my last point,
Yeah.
I'll say that the best investment for you as a young person is in yourself.
Amazing.
Is developing your mind,
Amazing.
developing your skills, anything that will help you become a better person. Because when you become a better person, every other thing around you becomes better, including your finances, including the people you hang out with. So you want to develop yourself. So that's
Thank
last
you
point.
so much, Deborah, for gracing our show today. And
Thank
it's been
you.
amazing having you. Young people, that is our show for today. We always bring you the best opportunities, and then we bring you the best people to talk to you about interesting topics that are going to build you. That's our show for today. Join us same time next week on Z101.9 FM, Next Gen Connect. And we will have wonderful opportunities for you. We'll have also wonderful guests to inspire you, to bring you development tips that are going to serve you best. Up next is Highway 1019. We'll leave you in the hands of God, and bye-bye.